The top of 3 p.m. This continues to be our top focus. I'm Anusha Soni. The Hindu Pleas Maintainable. The objection by the Muslim side, Order 7, Rule 11, that has been dismissed by the court. Section 3 of the Places of Religious Worship Act 1991. That bar does not apply because this is about the right to worship. This is not directly about redetermining the religious character of a place. Getting you first all the details here on CNN News 18. So far, we've been talking about how this has been a huge boost for the Hindu side because now the trial at the district court will continue to go on. The questions of fact will be debated. What course to follow from here on? Actual trial will begin. What has happened today is there was a speed breaker. There was a bumper much before the actual trial could begin. That has been done away by the court. Ananya Bhatnagar, our legal correspondent, is also with us on the broadcast. Ananya, what are the options which are available to the Muslim side right now?
Well, considering this to be a civil dispute, the next option available to the people who are aggrieved by this order, the Muslim side can now approach the Allahabad High Court challenging this particular order of the civil district judge, in fact, and now they would be filing a petition challenging this particular order before the Allahabad High Court, and they can also, while in the October hearing, because remember,
Ananya, I want to bring in Vishnu Jain, who's the lawyer for the Hindu side. He is with us on the broadcast. Vishnu जी, बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए. आज एक बहुत बड़ी जीत है जो हिंदू पक्ष के लिए हुई है. आगे ये पूरा मुकदमा कैसे चलेगा? और एक सवाल मैं आपसे और पूछना चाहती हूँ, उसका भी जरूर जवाब दीजिए. राम जन्मभूमि मुद्दे में फैसले आने में अरसा लग गया. क्या ऐसा ही इस मुद्दे के साथ भी होगा?
No, definitely we are going to ask for fast track trial of this matter in issue and day-to-day trial of this aspect, as well as the point is that what will be the future course of action. So we have already filed an application and that has been numbered as 80G, and therefore the artificial walls which are existing beneath the Wazu area has to be demolished first, because let me tell you that the arga of the Shivling is still to be found and we'll be moving in that direction. Apart from that, various historical as well as documentary proofs which we have will be filed on the record of the court and which will be exhibited, and therefore these will be the exercises which will be conducted in the future. We are hopeful that whatever we have mentioned in our petition as objects of worship, very soon as day-to-day trial we will be getting those objects of worship to pray inside the disputed side in question.
Help every person who's hearing this news coming in from the Varanasi Court today. This is about the access to the temple of Ma Shringar Gauri, where the prayers were happening, I think, up till 1996, and then it was stopped. There's one way to say that we don't need to determine the religious character of the place, but what you're saying, the artificial walls of the Wuzu Khana that need to be demolished, various artifacts that need to be taken into account. If artificially post-independence the religious character of a place has been changed, that needs to be determined. So to a great extent, the argument of the Hindu side is that the original character of this place is a Hindu character. Is that correct to say?
Correctly, you are absolutely right, and I think you are absolutely on the point. That is precisely our argument, that the religious character of this property in question, as existing on 15th August 1947, was of a Hindu religious temple, and therefore that character has to be maintained and that character has to be restored. And let me tell you, for the sake of clarity, that Places of Worship Act does not bar our suit, rather it protects us, because the fact of the matter is that in November 1993, Vyasji was doing puja in the Tehkana of the so-called mosque. So the point is that who has violated the Places of Worship Act has to be seen. And let me tell you, all the arguments with respect to all these aspects has been accepted by the Honorable Court, and the Honorable Court has said that the suit cannot be thrown.
Let me ask this to you as a lawyer from the Hindu side. Who has altered the religious structure or the religious character of that place? What is your case before the court? Who do you accuse of doing this?
The Masjid Committee. The Masjid Committee as well as the Mulayam Singh government in 1993 has altered the religious character of the property in question, because the fact of the matter is that we were worshipping in the property in question post 15th August 1947, and we will prove it to hilt by way of evidence, and therefore the Honorable Court today has paved the way for leading evidence in the matter, and when the evidence and everything will be done and the trial will happen, we will prove to hilt that whatever I am saying today will be accepted in future by the Honorable Court.
Vishnuji, the case is that there is a Shivling in the Wuzu Khana. There was also a survey that was done. Will that now be taken on record, and will there be further surveys that will be done here?
Yes. So, absolutely right, because the endeavor of the Masjid Committee was to get our survey rejected, and the survey should have no operation in the eyes of law. So precisely that has been rejected by the Honorable Court, and therefore I am telling you on your channel that now the SLP before the Supreme Court also has to be gone away, because all the remedies they have before the trial court. So the survey will be read into evidence. They have an option to file objections to the survey, for which Honorable Court has already passed an order under Order 26, Rule 9 and 10, seeking and calling upon them to file their objections.
What is the
so
SLP
now,
before the court, before the Supreme Court, Vishnuji? That
see,
becomes infructuous now?
The Masjid Committee has come to the Supreme Court against the order of appointment of survey commissioner.
Yes.
And the Honorable Supreme Court in that petition directed the civil court to decide the application under Order 7 Rule 11 first. And today that has been decided in our favor. So now all their remedies which they want to agitate before the Supreme Court has become infructuous, and they have to argue all these things before the trial court.
Vishnuji, a much revered shivling has been found in the Wuzu Khana. That's what the Hindu side is claiming. There were also orders that were given by the Supreme Court to ensure that there is law and order and proper religious decorum is maintained till the matter is decided conclusively. Is this issue something that needs to go back to the Supreme Court yet again, or those orders are going to stay till this matter is decided?
See, I think all these things has to be decided by the trial court, because let me tell you, we had also filed a petition before the Honorable Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was of the firm view that all these things should be agitated before the trial court and the respective high courts. So therefore, our applications will be before the Varanasi Civil Court, and now the Muslim side also has all their remedies open before the High Court and the Civil Court. So there is no, I think as of now, so far as these facts are concerned, there is no issue which will be pending before the Honorable Supreme Court.
Right now there is no issue which is pending. I'm coming to the original question once again. The religious character of this complex is a Hindu temple, is what you're arguing. Is the argument of the Hindu side that the entire mosque complex is a Hindu temple, or portion and parts of the complex are Hindu temples?
Entire mosque complex, the so-called mosque complex, is a Hindu temple, because in this property in question, within the so-called Gumbad, there are the shikhars of Hindu temple, and therefore that's why the commission survey has been done, and in future will prove through evidence that it has all the characters of a Hindu temple. And you have entered into a Hindu temple illegally, and you are trying to give a character that it's of a mosque. If you enter into the precincts and premises of a Hindu temple and offer namaz there, it can never have the character of a mosque.
Vishnuji, I have a lot of questions to ask you. I have a lot of questions to ask you, especially when it comes to the evidentiary part and what existed 15th of August 1947. Please stay with us on the broadcast. Allow me 30 seconds. There's some latest news coming in. Let's go to that. Now, the Muslim side says that the court today and the order today is not appropriate. We will approach the higher court as